Hi everyone. So today we'll be reading another article, but this article will be speaking about what to expect for this summer because of coronavirus or COVID-19. The summer will be very different, and this article talks about like what differences to expect or what to prepare for as you try your best to enjoy this summer. Okay, so this article mostly speaks about the US, but they do mention a place in Valencia. So, yeah, there will be different rules everywhere, but this pretty much gives a general idea. Okay, so, the article goes, why you'll need to prepare to pre-book all your fun this summer. Okay, so it starts with, we don't need to tell you that the summer is going to be very well different. COVID-19 is going to affect everyone for quite some time, even as government officials look to reopen states and countries around the world. They're working with health experts to craft a social distancing guideline and regulations that will allow us to safely achieve some semblance of a normal life, especially during the popular summer travel season. It is still unclear what exactly that will look like, but you can say goodbye to spontaneity in the dog days of summer, especially in heavily populated areas. Instead, prepare for reservations, timed entry slots, and lots of rules. Here's a little preview of what your summer vacation of 2020 might look like. So the first is bar, winery, and restaurant reservations. We hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but it might be some time before you can spontaneously go out to grab a drink with friends or loved ones. To limit capacity and foot traffic, many small bars and restaurants are insisting that customers make reservations in advance. Open Table announced last week it was adding bars and wineries to its platform. Previously, it was only open for restaurant reservations, as well as bars and wineries that offered food. You'll now be able to make reservations for bars and wineries and even join virtual waitlists and receive alerts when your seat is ready. Depending on the winery, you may even have the option to prepay for tastings and use contactless payment. On that note, don't expect to drop by your favorite restaurant at the last minute. You're probably going to have to book a table far in advance to help reopen restaurants, managing capacity, and avoid overcrowding. Platforms like Resty, OpenTable, Talk are going to be your best friends this summer. We have a hunch that platforms such as AMX Global Dining Collection are about to be even more valuable to restaurants around the world. Partner with Amex to offer cardholders premium dining experiences. Think special menu items, free drinks, perhaps best of all, prime reservations. Yes, even at venues fully booked online. So get ready to leverage the plastic or metal in your wallet. Timed gym sessions. If you're looking forward to getting back to the gym and blowing off some steam, before you hit the beach or the pool, don't expect it to be the same as when you left it in March. Popular fitness and travel brand Equinox, for example, recently announced new sanitation stations as well as what members can expect when they return. In addition to having a health declaration before entering, you'll be asked to book a visit in advance. You'll be able to schedule 3 90-minute appointments in any 7-day period, although you can book more on a standby basis, subject to capacity. Equinox opened its long-awaited Equinox Hotel in New York City in July 2019, and its fitness center will abide by the same protocols. Although it's still unclear what protocols hotel brands, both big and small, will employ as tourists start to return, there are signs of similar rules popping up. For example, Phil Cordell, Hilton's global head of new brand development, told NBC News that in order to keep us socially distanced, we're looking at offering guests the opportunity to sign up for specific gym time slots and exploring in-room exercise options. We also wouldn't be surprised to see mask-wearing attendants in fitness centers to ensure equipment is wiped down, disinfected between uses, and amenities like headphones or fruit bowls may be restricted or eliminated. Staff members will also have to wear PPE at spas, and there's a good chance that menu of treatments will be trimmed significantly to cut down on the potential spread of germs and minimize contact. Booked entry at attractions. It's great news that Disney parks are beginning to reopen, but expect a different kind of Disney magic when you return. Temperature checks, face masks, time entry reservations, and fewer touch points. Whether you're booking a single day park ticket or plan to use your annual pass on a given day, you'll likely need to make the reservation online or a while, at least for a while, assuming that the US Disney parks follow the methodology adopted in Shanghai. And this is just the beginning. Similar rules and regulations are rolling out not just to other Disney parks, but also to other popular attractions as well. The Six Flags theme parks have plans in place to use a time reservation system when parks reopen. Beach and pool limitations. There may be one silver lining here: beach chair reservations. Nothing ruined holiday, your leisurely summer vacation, quite like having to get up at 5 a.m. to grab lounge chairs on the beach for the day. But the way things are going, reserving a beach chair in advance might be the new normal this summer. That's not all, though. CNBC reports that travelers should also expect to have to book slots for meals and even swimming pool use in some destinations. Some beaches are taking a more hands-off approach, but as popular tourist destinations such as the Jersey Shore prepare to reopen ahead of Memorial Day, other beaches will likely establish limits on crowd capacities. In fact, New Jersey's Governor Phil Murphy is urging towns to set limits on the number of daily beach badges they sell, according to NBC Philadelphia. Further, CNN reports Canteberger, a town on the Mediterranean coast in Spain, is planning to set up a grid system on the sands that you'll only be able to access if you have a reservation. As the town's mayor explains, there'll be more space between you and your neighbor, like a business class beach. The beach is only planning on admitting 5,000 people per day, about half of the usual number, to enable social distancing. This trend is likely to spread to other popular beaches around the world, so be prepared to book well in advance if you want to soak up some vitamin D. In Texas, where many types of businesses have already reopened, we see pool reservation systems in effect for certain pools in cities such as Corpus Christi. For example, at the Corpus Christi Naturium, you can reserve a 45-minute swim session from 24 hours to 3 days in advance. The 45-minute sessions are separated by 15 minutes for cleaning and disinfecting. National parks and hiking reservations. National parks, although spacious and prime for social distancing, are facing their own challenges. Road trips into the American countryside are likely going to be the summer's hot tourist trend. Rental car availability has become very limited in some areas like New York City. And once you get to your destination, be prepared for, you guessed it, reservations. For example, Business Insider reports that you will have to reserve a spot on several Austin area hiking trails in advance online or by calling ahead of time. You can only book day passes between 1 and 14 days before you visit, so we'd recommend booking early in advance. National parks are also planning on reopening with limited amenities, including without bathrooms or visitor centers. If you're planning on visiting one of these over the summer, come prepared with maps. It's also a good idea to use the facilities ahead of time. Some popular parks, such as Rocky Mountain National Park, are also exploring the possibility of using a time entry reservation system to meter crowds and prevent overcrowding or a day of disappointment. Bottom line, this isn't going to be a normal summer. You will probably afford more opportunities to get outside than the spring held, as long as you plan ahead. Naturally, these guidelines are subject to change, and there's a common theme. Booking many activities well in advance is going to be key to reclaiming some semblance of normalcy in the months to come. Hey, maybe it's finally time for obsessive planners, guilty as charged, to shine. Okay. All right. So let's really quickly take a look at some vocabulary. Okay. So there were a couple of terms that we heard here that are probably new to some of us, and we'll define them and have a look at what they mean. So, spontaneity. So, let's have a look at some of these questions here. There are several questions here that I'd like you to take a look at some point and answer. And then here's a list of the words I kind of want us to define. So, spontaneity is like spur of the moment. When you do something spontaneously, you don't plan it. Okay, so then we have this phrase, the dog days of summer. That actually comes from ancient Rome, and it comes from it's referred, it comes from the Romans calling the hottest days of summer the dog days of summer. They associate it with the star Sirius, and the star was known as the dog star or the brightest star. So it's like something to do with the ancient Romans and the constellations. And so it's like dog days of summer is kind of like the peak of summer. We have another phrase here, the bearer of bad news. Um, a bearer is somebody who like carries something, like um, they kind of like hold things. And if you're the bearer of bad news, you're the person giving the bad news. Capacity is like space. If you're booked to capacity, you're out of space. Insisting, that's actually a cognate, and it means like to continue to push or ask for something. A hunch is like a guess, and a guess is like when you kind of suppose or assume something. So if you have like a hunch about something, you have a feeling, and you're gonna go off of that feeling or assumption. Blowing off some steam is another term that we see in this article. And to blow off some steam is to kind of get rid of stress. If you are very stressed or upset or angry about something, um, usually it's a good idea to exercise instead of like doing something harmful. And a lot of people use the gym as a place to get rid of stress in a healthy way. And that's what blowing off steam kind of means, is to get rid of stress. Methodology is your method, like how something is done. If a place has a methodology, is like what they believe in or how they believe in doing something. Leisurely or leisure is relaxed. If you're doing something for leisure or if you're doing something leisurely, is relaxing. And the last phrase, semblance of normalcy. A semblance is kind of like to return of something. So if you want like a semblance of normalcy, you want like a return to normalcy. That's what that phrase means. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this article, and I hope you try to enjoy your summer. Obviously, it's going to be all about this, booking in advance. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Bye.